200 megapixel OIS camera on a mid-range phone? Xiaomi has really gone bonkers, hasn't it? So yeah, the Redmi Note 12 series have arrived in the studio and are launching soon in Malaysia. This is the Redmi Note 12 5G and this is the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. They are great sequels to their predecessors and continue to offer flagship-grade features that you can't get on other similar priced smartphones, particularly the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus, which comes with an optically stabilized 200 megapixel main camera, which is absolutely nuts. So let's dive in and talk about which is the right device for you. Let's start off with the regular Redmi Note 12. This phone will be available in 4G and 5G models like before, and man, I'm so in love with this green color paint treatment that Xiaomi has done here. The back doesn't attract fingerprints as it uses a frosted texture, the camera bump now looks simpler than before, and despite having a large 5000 mAh battery, it is very easy to handle. As for the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus, it is slightly heavier than the Note 12 due to its glass back. It has the same camera bump design that houses larger lenses, while it has a glossy glass back and the same plastic frame as the regular Note 12. Both phones are IP53 dust and splash resistant, while I'm glad that they retain a 3.5mm headphone jack, which I've also tested, and they produce clean audio and good bass response. Both phones feature the same display size at 6.67 inches and they are AMOLED panels that refresh at 120Hz. The Redmi Note 12 has a noticeably thicker chin, while the bezels on the Pro Plus is more symmetrical. Not to mention that its display panel shows 1 billion colors and has a peak brightness of 900 nits while supporting Dolby Vision HDR. It also has dual stereo speakers while the Redmi Note 12 doesn't have. It is a small letdown because the Note 11 came with stereo speakers, but fortunately, it doesn't sound too bad. Here's a speaker test of both phones. The Redmi Note 12 and Pro Plus ships with MIUI 14 and Android 12 out of the box. Well, I can most definitely assure you that there are no longer annoying ads and weird bugs in the software experience. They are still preloaded with some games and apps, which you can fortunately remove them. The Redmi Note 12 5G is powered by a Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 chipset with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of expandable storage. The Note 12 Pro Plus is powered by a more powerful MediaTek Dimensity 1080 chipset with the same storage configuration. While they most certainly differ when it comes to benchmarks and real-world performance, the Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 chip on the Redmi Note 12 is still a very capable chipset and is on par with the Snapdragon 695 in terms of app launch speeds. I am also surprised that it handles games extremely well for a mid-range chipset, which I have no trouble playing Genshin Impact at more than 30 FPS with low to medium graphics setting. Since it is also a very power-efficient chipset, I encountered no overheating issues even after gaming for 30 minutes. As for the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus, the Dimensity 1080 chip blazes through everything I do on it like an expensive flagship phone. I have never detected a moment of stutter or freezes when I daily drive it, and I have no doubt on its gaming performance being better than the Redmi Note 12. The biggest difference between these two phones are their camera systems. Though they both feature triple cameras with wide, ultra-wide, and macro lenses, the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus's 200 megapixel main camera with OIS is the real deal, while the 48 megapixel main lens on the Redmi Note 12 isn't too bad for mid-range standards. If you take a look at these camera samples, you can see that even though they both produce similar color saturation most of the time in good lighting, the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus is capable of capturing sharper details as it is able to combine more pixels from the 200 megapixel resolution. I also took the effort to compare the Pro Plus's 200 megapixel images with the Galaxy S23 Ultra's 200 megapixel camera by taking a picture of the Merdeka 118 building. While the S23 Ultra is sharper when it comes to the glass panels, the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus is surprisingly better in details when it comes to the tip of the building, where the S23 Ultra loses focus, and the roof tiles on a building below the tower also looks more refined and brighter on the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus. Both cameras are surprisingly comparable, and this is going to be super useful for those who loves to reframe their shots. Both phones have the same 8-megapixel ultra-wide lens and they look very similar in terms of image quality. The same goes for the selfie cameras, although the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus has a higher 60-megapixel lens as compared to 30 megapixels on the Note 12. In terms of video recording, only the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus main camera is capable of taking 4K 30fps videos, and all thanks to OIS, videos aren't as shaky as you would find on other mid-range phones. In terms of battery life, both phones have no issues lasting a heavy day with more than 30% of battery left when connected to 5G networks and on 120Hz refresh rate, all thanks to the large 5000 mAh battery and power-efficient hardware. But charging them is a totally different story, as the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus is the first Redmi device with a 5000 mAh battery to support 120 watts hypercharge, whereas the Redmi Note 12 charges at a slower but still decent 33 watts of power. Nonetheless, Redmi Notes have never disappointed in battery life. The Redmi Note 12 retails at 799 ringgit for the 4G model and 1099 ringgit for the 5G model, while the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus retails at 1599 ringgit. These are the exact same launch price as their predecessors, and I know it is difficult to make a choice because they are just so well priced. I recommend the Redmi Note 12 for those who are looking for a budget but well-spec 5G phone. While for those looking for a great camera on a mid-range phone with super fast charging speeds, the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus gets my wholehearted recommendation. Pre-orders for the Redmi Note 12 series will begin on 6 to 13 April 2023 onwards, where you will receive a free Redmi Smart Band 2 fitness tracker during the period. So head over to a Xiaomi store near you to pre-order one. So yeah, that's all for my thoughts on the Redmi Note 12 series. After using them for a couple of days, they are really great mid-range phones. So yeah, go check them out and stay tuned to more videos coming right up on the channel. Subscribe to us and be sure to give us a thumbs up if you love what you saw. And I'll see you guys in the next one.